AgWeek weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
While these colder temperatures stay in the region, are warmer days on the horizon. Here's John with our AgriWeather outlook.
For the most part, the very cold air, which dropped into the north central part of the United States, bringing snow to parts of Montana, North Dakota, and Minnesota and other areas, that cold air has retreated considerably. And as we go through the middle part of November, things are not looking nearly so cold. The winter, which started out rough, at least in the northern plains, for the time being appears to be turning soft. And it may stay that way to a large extent with the strong El Nino in progress and so much warm sea surface temperature water up in the North Pacific Ocean. There's a pretty fair chance that at least for the start of winter season here, and maybe longer, we're going to be looking at warmer than average temperatures. We do see some precipitation setting up in the second week of this forecast in the Corn Belt. It's a little iffy, but possibly significant. Get to that in just a minute. All right, jet stream pattern right now. A rather meandering, split, largely northerly placed jet stream. Cold weather in retreat. Still kind of cool over the Rockies and the Great Lakes and the northeastern states. There will be a bit of low pressure troughing into New England that will bring at least cooler weather there. But the really cold stuff, by that I mean below freezing weather, that's gone up into Canada for the time being, with the exception of the mountains. That's really the only place where cold weather is forming. By the middle of this week, ridging will bring temperatures up to about 60 degrees as far north as North Dakota and Minnesota, and 70s as far north as Iowa and Nebraska. And those are going to try to nudge northward a little more because of this ridging up against the western high plains. Really a very pleasant weather pattern. Maybe not so great for deer hunting season, but pretty good for just being outside. Hot weather, as in weather in the 80s and 90s, will be confined to the usual places in the far south. And with the storm system building down the west coast, going to lose most of that hot weather out of Southern California this week. By the end of the week, starting to see slightly cooler weather drop into the northern plains. And in fact, there will be a bit of a cool snap invading Texas and northern Mexico and eventually going across the southeast. But this based on the southern branch of the jet stream. It's not going to bring frost or really cold weather, just a bit of a cool spell into the south. We're going to keep the cold weather in the northern parts. And this pattern continues to look rather lame, rather weak. However, that push of cold weather may generate some precipitation sometime in the second week of the forecast. This first week, November 12th through the 18th, looks like the only truly stormy weather will be in the northern Rockies, not along the west coast. Some rains finally for California. Northern plains, northeast, Midwest looking pretty dry. The second week, I do expect at least a moderate weather system to bring some rain to the Corn Belt. The northwest will continue to be snowy. Most of the Great Plains, though, will continue to be relatively dry.